Have you ever finished your bust caging and instead of that nice lifted round shape, it comes out flat? Let me show you exactly why that happens and how to fix it. Now take a look at this one. At first glance, it might look okay, like that's a bit of shape. But if you look closely, it's actually flat. Not completely flat, but it's not giving structure, it's not giving volume, and it's not sitting properly. In this video, I'll show you exactly why your bust caging looks flat and how to fix it. Now look at these two bustiers. They were made from the same pattern, but one is flat and the other one is well shaped and lifted. So clearly the problem is not the pattern. The cup you are seeing here, even without any filling, is standing well. That tells you the structure and shaping were done properly. The problem with this bust caging is not in the pattern. The pattern for this bust caging, for this bustier is right because the same pattern was used for the one that came out flat and the one that is standing properly well. So I'm going to tell you some of the mistakes that was made with the one that came out flat. The first thing you need to make sure you get right is your pattern drafting. Your pattern drafting needs to come out perfect in order for you to get a perfect bust caging. Once your pattern drafting is right, you can be 70% sure your bust caging will come out right. Look at this that was not padded. There is nothing added to this. It was the same pattern I used in drafting the one that came out flat and the one that is well rounded that I used in drafting this lace. This particular lace has nothing in it except stay. So this is meant to look before you start your work. You can see it is deep inside. It is well cut. Without anything inside, it is curved inside. It is well curved. So the first thing you need to get right is your pattern drafting and your sewing. Once that is right, every other thing will come out perfectly. Let me show you how the pattern of the lace looks on both bust caging, the flat one and the well-rounded one. You can look at this. I told you earlier that it's the same pattern that was used for these three. So look at the fit of this inside the flat one. You can see there is space. It is not sitting well. It is not properly done. That shows you that the bust caging is not perfect. It is flat. And it being flat inside a well-cupped pattern will not sit well. Then look at it inside the other one that is well-rounded and well-caged. You will see how it sits properly and sits well inside it. That's to tell you that the second one is well caged and well rounded. So now let me point out the difference between the flat bust caging and the well rounded bust caging.
This is for a big bust. This is for a bust 48. Yes, this is for a bust 48. So I don't want it to be padded again. The person has enough breast to fill it up already. So there's no point padding it so much. But if you want it more padded, you can use more fleshing. You can use more fiber to increase the padding. One of the things I'm going to be showing you is the shape of this. When you want to curve it, and I will be showing you the difference between this and this. One of the things that you are doing it, when you are sewing it, make sure that, if I'm to sew this now, make sure that when you are sewing it, don't just sew it flat. The way it is deep inside like this is the way you should make sure that your boning is also deep in it. When you are sewing it, you have to be conscious of the fact that it is deep and you follow the deepness when you are sewing it. You don't straighten it. And when you are sewing it, you make sure you are stretching it. You are stretching the fabric under and make sure that it's not folding because of the deep. When you are sewing, you might want to make sure that you are stretching out not the boning. You must not stretch out the boning, but you must be stretching out the fabric itself. Make sure you are stretching out the fabric while sewing and follow the deepness without stretching the fabric. Another thing you have to take important note of is that for you to curve it, I don't want to write on this because it's a customer's pattern. I want to put in. For you to get how curved you want this place to be, this curve. Because if you look at this one now, you can see the way this curve spread. I think that's one of the reasons why it does not come out well curved. That's why it is a bit flat. I allowed it. You will measure your nipple to nipple here, divided by 2. That's what you will put here. So here, if my nipple to nipple is, so here, my nipple to nipple is 9 inches. I'm meant to use 4.5 here, plus 1, 5.5. So instead of spreading the mouth of the meant to have been curved this way. Meant to have been curved, not spreading like this. So that's one of the reasons why your cup might turn out flat and not well cupped the way it is meant to be cupped. That's one of the.
So if your bust looks flat, ask yourself, did you actually shape it properly during finishing? Then another thing is what you use in preparing your fabric. The first thing I did was to iron gum stay on it, that is stay on it. After using stay, I added some people use peplon stay but I used wording. Why I used wording is because some customers complain of peplon stay being hard. So if you want that soft feminine feel in it, you should use wording. It gives you a very good result. So after adding my wording to it, before I now started caging. Then when you are done caging, another thing is for you to have this human feel and this soft feel is for you to add fiber to it. Use fiber to cover up your caging. It's not compulsory to use fiber. If you don't have fiber, you can also use ST. Layer a few layers of ST to your satisfaction. Also, the fiber you add depends on how full you want it to be. If you are sewing for a busty person, I don't see any reason why you should be adding a lot of fiber. For this, I'm sewing for someone with bust 48, so I didn't have a lot of fiber. I used just like 3 layers. If you buy a 1 inch fiber, just divide it into like 3 or 4. You'll be able to get what I'm talking about. You can use your eyes to gauge the amount of fiber you just need. You just need a little fiber to cover it up and give it a natural feel. That is for someone who is busty. But for someone who is not so busty, you can try to pad it more. The other important thing is for how you iron it. For this, you need to use your bust arm to iron out your cup. If you don't have a bust arm, you need to make one. Maybe if you request for it, I can teach you how to make your own bust arm at home if you do not have one. You can also buy from the market, they sell in the market. Here I'm using my mannequin. This mannequin is a strong one, very strong, and the bust is standing. So it gives me the feel of that better than a bust arm. So I like to use it to iron out my bustier. It's not the normal mannequin. This one is made. It's not this made mannequin, just like molded mannequin. So the bust is very strong. So the next thing I did after ironing is to prepare the main fabric. The main fabric I'm using just ST. I'm not padding the main fabric because, as I said earlier, the person I'm making for is very busty. She's on the big side. She's in bust 48, and people that are busty do not want their bust to be more pronounced again. So after opening up your seam, you open up your seam. Then that's for the main fabric. Then I cut out a strip of ST and iron that joining part. After opening it up, I ironed it down. I wish the camera covered it well to show you what I'm talking about. But if as you can see, I've ironed that place down. I didn't iron it on the flat surface for the bust area. It's only the under bust to the waist that I'm ironing on the flat surface because you need to open that side out too and iron it out flat. Ironing is very important when you are sewing bustier. When you are sewing anything, ironing is very important. Ironing gives you a good finishing. So take out your time and make sure you iron it out properly. Iron it, open it up, iron at the front, iron at the back. It's good if you have a steam iron. Steam iron gives you a very good result. So make sure you use your steam iron. And if you don't have a steam iron, whatever iron you have, dry iron, get water inside the bottle and pierce the cover and spray it on it before you iron. You also get the same, almost or the same result. It's important for you to take your time while ironing out your fabric. Ironing it out is very important. It will make your job come out excellent. You can see this now. This is just the plain fabric with ST. It is not padded, and you can see it is well curved. I'm taking out my time to iron out the waist to the underbust to the waist, and this is the final look of it. You can see it without anything inside. It is well curved. It is well curved. So the next thing is to attach it to the lining that we already caged. This is our caged bustier, and now I'm going to be placing the main fabric on top. Then pin it down. You can see the outcome of this bust caging. It's standing on its own. So I'll take out my time now and pin it. This is how your bust caging should look when you are done. Just make sure you take your time when cutting, when sewing, and when ironing. You will get a very good result at the end of it. So if your bust caging has been coming out flat, now you know what exactly to fix. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I will respond to it as soon as I'm able to get to it. Don't forget to like, share, and follow for more sewing tips and actually make a difference. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.